Shifting Time, a Cosmic Dance. Written by Neil deGrasse Tyson, Cosmos: A Space-Time Odyssey. Our planet dances around the sun. This celestial waltz brings us day and night. But it also gives us seasons. We call this daylight saving time, or DST. This gives us more evening sunshine. It's a reminder of our planet's place in the universe. The Earth isn't perfectly upright as it orbits the sun. It's tilted on its axis. This tilt is the reason we have seasons. It's also why different parts of the Earth experience varying amounts of daylight. Think of the Earth as a spinning top. The top's tilt determines where a light shines brightest on it. Similarly, the Earth's tilt means the sun's rays hit different parts of the planet more directly at different times of the year. During summer in the northern hemisphere, the North Pole is tilted towards the sun. This means longer days for countries further from the equator. In contrast, the southern hemisphere experiences winter with shorter days. As the Earth continues its orbit, the situation reverses. This tilt is why DST is more relevant for countries further from the equator. They experience more dramatic changes in daylight hours between summer and winter. Latitude, your location's distance from the equator, dramatically impacts daylight. Near the equator, days and nights are roughly equal throughout the year. The sun rises and sets at about the same time each day. This means DST doesn't have a significant impact. As you move away from the equator, the differences in daylight hours become more pronounced. In summer, days get progressively longer. In winter, they get shorter. This is why DST is primarily observed in the temperate zones, the areas between the tropics and the polar circles. At the extreme, above the Arctic Circle and below the Antarctic Circle, things get even more interesting. During summer, these regions experience the midnight sun, where the sun never sets. In winter, they have periods of polar night, where the sun never rises. In these regions, the concept of DST becomes almost irrelevant. Section 4. DST's benefits: more sunshine, less energy, safer roads. The primary purpose of DST is to save energy. By shifting the clock forward, we extend daylight into the evening hours. This reduces the need for artificial lighting. Studies have shown that DST can lead to a small but significant decrease in energy consumption, but the benefits extend beyond energy savings. Extending daylight hours also means people are more likely to be active outdoors in the evenings. This can lead to health benefits from increased exercise and exposure to sunlight. Furthermore, there's evidence to suggest that DST can reduce traffic accidents. With more daylight in the evening, visibility improves, reducing the risk of accidents. This is particularly relevant during the hours when people are commuting home from work. Section 5. A world of time-unique approaches to daylight saving. While many countries observe DST, the specific dates and practices vary widely. Some countries, like those located near the equator, have no need for DST and don't observe it at all. Others have experimented with different DST schedules or have made adjustments based on their unique geographical locations and cultural practices. For example, in the European Union, DST begins and ends on the last Sundays of March and October, respectively. However, there are ongoing discussions about abolishing the practice altogether within the EU. In the United States, DST is observed for a longer period from the second Sunday of March to the first Sunday of November. These variations highlight the complexities of DST and the challenges of finding a one-size-fits-all approach to timekeeping on a global scale. Section 6. The Great Time Debate: should we spring forward, fall back, or stay put? The future of DST is a subject of ongoing debate. Proponents of DST point to the energy savings, reduced traffic accidents, and increased opportunities for outdoor recreation. They argue that DST aligns our lives more closely with the natural rhythms of daylight. Opponents, however, argue that the energy savings are minimal and outweighed by the disruptions caused by changing the clocks twice a year. They cite studies suggesting that DST can disrupt sleep patterns, lead to health problems, and even increase the risk of accidents in the days following the time change. The debate is complex, with valid arguments on both sides. Ultimately, the decision of whether to continue, modify, or abolish DST is a societal one, balancing the potential benefits against the perceived drawbacks. Time at the poles: a different perspective. Near the Earth's poles, DST's impact is minimal. Extreme daylight variations make a one-hour shift negligible. Summer solstice: sun never sets above the Arctic Circle. Winter solstice: perpetual night. Human experience of time takes on a different dimension.